Hello and welcome to a new week of Granada Reports.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Here's what's coming up on the programme this evening.
The children who just want to learn. We meet Charlie from Wallasey, one of countless children missing out on the education they deserve due to failings in SEND provision.
I love learning. I wish I could just do it in the proper environment, and that's all I've ever asked for.
We're sending them in to feel unwell, and kids should be in school, but we didn't realise really how bad it had got for him.
A boost for Barrow as the Prime Minister confirms 12 nuclear-powered attack submarines.
Latics in La La Land, all the celebrations from Wembley after Oldham win promotion in dramatic fashion.
The winner of Britain's Got Talent, Harry Moulding!
And it was absolutely magic. We'll be with Harry Moulding, who's back home after a life-changing weekend.
Well, first tonight, the thousands of children with special educational needs who are missing out on their education through no fault of their own.
Yeah, there's been a surge in the number of children who are currently not in school because they're struggling to cope in a mainstream environment.
Many of those children have autism or have been waiting years for a diagnosis, and charities say there are lifelong consequences to their needs not being met. I spent the day with a family from Wallasey on the Wirral on a journey of their own.
He's the most loving son, and he makes me very proud every day.
Something's got to change.
But we've been at breaking point. The amount of correspondence, phone calls, emails, forms to fill in, it's overwhelming.
Charlie hasn't been to school for the last 2 months. He has special educational needs and has waited more than 2.5 years for an autism diagnosis. Charlie's 15 and has been overwhelmed by school.
When I was there, when I came back home, I was just exhausted. My feet trembling, my body shaking, my eyes watering. Just not happy memories, really. I remember mostly sleeping a lot. At least 2 hours of sleep for some weird reason. I love learning. I wish I could just do it in the proper environment, and that's all I've ever asked for.
A teenager's bedroom is now a makeshift classroom, and Mum Michelle and Dad Dave are balancing their son's online learning with their full-time jobs. Mainstream school so far hasn't worked for Charlie, who struggles to make friends.
It feels like it's kind of a non-stop, constant thing, and it's exhausting. It takes every little bit of energy, and also their needs are also, our boys' needs are also different, so it's trying to balance everything as well, which is hard. It is sometimes hard to balance.
Charlie's parents say they've been left to navigate special educational provision on their own, and an Education Health and Care Plan, or EHCP, a legal document that specifies the additional support he needs, has arrived too late in his life. A document issued by Wirral Council that only arrived this year and after the legal deadline.
How frustrating, Michelle, is it that, all of this could have, if this was addressed a lot earlier, which it could have been,
Yeah.
things might have been very different for Charlie.
I think so. I think it would have been different for Charlie. It would have been different for us as a family. He's got 2 brothers. One is
ADHD.
Yeah, one's ADHD and the other one's on the ADHD pathway. So I feel like things would have been different in terms of how because we can't go back in time and determine what that would be. But I just feel like we would be in a different space and a different place.
Charlie puts a national crisis in sharp focus because there are thousands of autistic kids missing out on school, and the scale of the problem is huge. In the 2023 to 24 academic year, 8,000 autistic pupils were persistently absent from school in the Northwest, a 219% surge on the 2,500 autistic pupils persistently absent 5 years before. Wirral Council has the highest percentage of persistent absence amongst its autistic pupils of all councils in our region, with an Ofsted report finding children and young people with special educational needs experiencing the effects of long-standing failings in the area. You know, charities are telling us that there are thousands of kids with neurodiverse conditions who are currently missing out on their education. And here in the Northwest, almost a third of all autistic pupils enrolled in schools are persistently absent. That means they're missing out on one or more days every fortnight across the school year. And that really puts a stop to their ability to thrive. Charities say a system that's meant to help parents is often working against them.
The needs on the parts of parents and carers and young people aren't being met at the moment. There is an ever-increasing pressure on waiting lists. Absenteeism rates are going up in school. More and more autistic young people are persistently or sometimes severely absent. And all of this has lifelong consequences for the young people in question.
It's hard as a parent because I know Shell and I have discussed it. It got to the point where we're sending our child in and it felt like torture. You know, we're sending him in to feel unwell and unhappy and his mental health's gone. And that's any parent to see, you know, when you're having to literally drag a child to school because, yeah, kids should be in school, but we didn't realise really how bad it had got for him. And you question yourself. Bo, come on this way. Do you want a hug?
Yeah. You look like you were.
Charlie simply wants a learning environment that will meet his needs. He's waiting to find out if he'll be accepted into a new school in the coming weeks.
Well, some good news tonight. Charlie found out today that he will be starting alternative provision tomorrow, but he's still waiting for a decision on a school for September.
Meanwhile, a spokesperson for NHS Cheshire and Merseyside told us they are sorry to hear about Charlie's wait for an autism diagnosis.
Yeah, they also say they're launching a new vision for neurodiversity services across Cheshire and Merseyside this month to support schools to better understand the child's needs.
Earlier I spoke to Adrian Leach, Assistant Director for Special Educational Needs at Wirral Council. He told me what the council are doing to improve things for children like Charlie.
We've been working very hardly on embedding and co-producing a graduated approach that helps schools feel more confident in engaging with the presentation of children that have special educational needs in mainstream schools. We've continued as a local area to develop different types of provision to meet the change of profile and the different ways that children are coming through and presenting, particularly in this post-COVID era, as we've seen a significant change in levels of neurodiversity and levels of anxiety in children and young people.
When it comes to EHCPs, for example, there are so many examples of the 20-week legal deadline for EHCPs being missed, meaning months of uncertainty for teenagers and their parents. I mean, kids are still being let down despite changes, despite improvements that we're seeing in places like Wirral, for example.
Nationally, the rate of completion at 20 weeks is around 50%, so many local authorities having real difficulty in meeting those needs. In Wirral, we've had to ask our members to, against very difficult financial climate, to find an additional £2.8 million a year to invest in our statutory SEND services, and that money, of course, is very hard to find in the current climate. But we've put that in to double the number of caseworkers and educational psychologists available to Wirral families.
The message that I seem to be getting from you is that this is a wider issue, a national issue, and the changes that need to be made come from the top down. But does Wirral Council take any responsibilities for the failings that we've seen in previous weeks, months and years?
Of course. We are, as a council and as a strategic partnership, acutely aware of some of the long-standing pressures and failings that families have experienced since the Children and Families Act came in 2014. We have invested heavily, particularly over the last 18 months, on improving our governance and understanding, and as I say, investing significant sums of money to improve the services that families rely on.
Adrian Leach, appreciate your time. Thank you. Well, if you've been affected by any of the issues in my report or have also been trying to navigate the very challenging SEND system, we'd love to hear your story. Do email us at granada.reports@itv.com.
Well, let's take a look at some more of the day's news now. And police on the Isle of Man have charged a juvenile with murder after a teenage boy was stabbed. Christopher McBurney died on Close Green in Ramsey last Thursday. Police say the boy who's been charged will appear before the next available court.
4 people remain in hospital a week after a car ploughed into fans at Liverpool's parade. The total number of people injured during the incident on Water Street last Monday now stands at 109. 53-year-old Paul Doyle has been charged in connection with the crash.
Greater Manchester Police say there's been a significant development in the investigation to try and identify the body of a baby girl found in a park in Little Hulton. Her remains were discovered by a member of the public just over 6 months ago now, with detectives naming her Ava. The force has now revealed they've managed to secure a DNA profile from fabric recovered from the scene. Now, the MP for Barrow and Furness says plans announced by the government to boost our military capabilities will mean better jobs and long-term security for the region.
Yes, so Keir Starmer confirmed in today's defence spending review that up to 12 nuclear-powered attack submarines will be built as part of our response to rising global threats.
Well, our political correspondent, Leisha McNally, joins us now from Westminster. So, Leisha, what does this all mean for the North West?
Well, it means that one town in Cumbria is now the beating heart of the UK's defensive strategy, a strategy that was made to feel pretty urgent today after a slightly scary speech from the Prime Minister. He said that war in Europe, increased cyber attacks and escalating global tensions means the threat we face is now more serious and more unpredictable than any time since the Cold War, and that the country needs to move to a state of what he called war-fighting readiness. Now, for an island nation, that really means increasing our defences at sea, and it was confirmed that shipbuilders in Barrow are going to double our stock of nuclear-powered submarines. Those are the ones capable of spending many months under the water, ready to attack and silently patrolling and protecting key infrastructure like gas pipelines. Today's review set out plans to unroll a new one every 18 months, and the local MP says that's great news for the town.
People that live in the area are also in that supply chain, so even if you think it doesn't affect you in your daily life, quite often it will. But we're also looking at the amenities locally, so that's the schools, so the education system in general, our health service, everything there, the immediate infrastructure, all of that will improve with these orders and the commitment today.
Now, of course, the key question in today's announcement is how we're going to pay for it. Experts say it will require 3% of GDP. That's basically 3% of the whole economy being spent on defence. Now, the government says it wants to get to that spending figure at some point in the next Parliament, but won't set out a timeline when. And many political opponents here today said that's basically like writing a shopping list without the cash to actually buy anything. It means that many people will be watching very closely to see how this plan is rolled out in Barrow and beyond, and whether cuts will be needed elsewhere to pay for it.
Leisha in Westminster, thanks so much.
Well, next tonight, so the club in dreamland after the most dramatic of wins on the biggest stage in non-league football.
Yeah, after 3 years away from the Football League, Oldham Athletic have returned in style, scoring 2 goals in 2 extra time minutes to beat Southend in the playoff final at Wembley.
We'll be live with the players and staff in a moment, but first our sports correspondent David Chisnell looks back on a day where Wembley turned blue.
And they are back in the Football League.
Wembley has never seen anything like this before. Oldham Athletic's first ever win here sealed the club's return to the Football League and sparked celebrations both inside and outside the stadium.
This is why you support Oldham, because it's just unbelievable. Like, the fan base has stood by us. We've won a promotion at Wembley. Like, oh, I can't be...
Over the moon, happy, been crying.
I've worked with them for 70 years, and that's the best moment yet. And
the best?
The best.
Don't you know, pump it up, the ticks are going up.
Well, Oldham supporters had been in fine voice even before kick-off.
Come on, Oldham!
Making the most of the club's first Wembley appearance since an FA Cup semi-final with Manchester United back in 1994.
Last time I was here was 94 for the semi-final, and I was too young to remember it. I knew I was here, but that's all I remember, so I know I get to bring my 2 boys with me, so yes.
Come on! Last night was like Christmas Eve. like going to bed now, all excited but a bit nervous.
Did you get any sleep?
Only a little bit.
Can I ask, is the hair especially for this occasion?
Yeah, I did it myself. I bought my earrings and my nails.
Are you going to do it today?
In front of a record crowd of 52,000 for a National League playoff final, Oldham twice had to come from behind against Southend. Joe Garner's penalty took the game to extra time, where 2 goals in 2 second-half minutes dramatically clinched promotion back to League Two.
So what a day for Oldham fans at Wembley. 20,000 of them travelled down here. They are going home knowing that their team is going up to the Football League.
6 are going up! Ecstatic, can't speak. It's the most Oldham Athletic way of going up, that.
Unbelievable. We thought we'd lost it. We haven't. We're going to go up again. I've lost my voice. I don't care.
What was it like?
Best feeling ever.
We're delighted, we really are, to get Oldham back in the Football League for the community in such a tough area that it is. It hasn't had great times, but to get their football club back in the Football League, representing them properly, is terrific.
And to do it in that fashion as well. How's the heart, how's the nerves, how's the fingernails?
All of them and struggling.
Well, after years of struggling, this will be a day long remembered in this club's long history. They've had decades of decline, but now Oldham are on the up. David Chisnell, ITV News, Wembley.
Well, they've got some moves there, haven't they?
Yeah, many congratulations to Oldham. And in the last few minutes, the Turnstiles have opened at Boundary Park for a very special evening in Oldham.
But before that, the players and the staff have been gathering for a civic reception nearby. Let's cross live now to Caroline Whitmore. Cal, did you get up to much this weekend?
Katie, I'd love to tell you that I've had a really quiet weekend, but my throat is going to give it away because I'm so croaky. After attending Wembley yesterday, me and my family were down there, we were singing, we were clapping along. There we are, having the best day. Because what a result that was for Oldham Athletic. My goodness. I'm here now at the Civic Centre, live in Oldham Town Centre. But across the town at Boundary Park, I don't know if we can see a live shot, thousands of fans are heading to the stadium, ready to give the players a real hero's welcome back to Oldham after what is possibly one of the most important games in this club's history. Joining me now, Mike Fondop. Wow, Mike, I'm not going to make you do your dance and I'm not going to sing and chant what the supporters say to you. But how incredible was it for you playing at Wembley for the first time?
Amazing. I've never been to Wembley before, so even to watch a game, so it was amazing. But the first time I went there, it was to play a game, and I felt like I owed something to this club because I was here from the start when it got relegated. So to get back to the league was one of the greatest achievements so far.
And what a lovely gesture that the supporters did. They paid for your dad to come over from Africa to watch. Just shows what a family-oriented club it is.
Yeah, indeed. It just shows the love. You know, they started. I was not aware. Initially, I thought it was a joke, but eventually, they went forward with the idea, and it was fantastic. And when I told that to Dad, he couldn't believe it.
Oh, so, bless him! Did he love it?
Absolutely.
He loved it.
So, and that was the first time for him to come as well to Wembley.
Wow.
So
I love that story. And Tom, you're the team captain. You lifted the trophy. What a proud moment.
Incredible. That's something we've wanted to be doing all season. We spoke in pre-season what our target was, and it was to get promoted. So to get that over the line for the club, for the owners, for the fans, for the town is everything we've been trying to do this season.
Oh, I love it, and I feel really honoured to be here chatting to you guys. Thank you, and well done so much. Goodness me, look at this man now. Yay! You did it! Yeah. You did it! Well, you two did it, but Frank's helped along the way, haven't you, Frank? Goodness me. Yes. 3 years ago, you bought the club, you and your family. How important is this result for you and the people of the town?
It's mega important. It's put Oldham on the map. It's given us back our academy, because once we get promoted, our academy was taken away from us once we've been in the National League for 2 years, and also we get a grant now every year off the Premier League as well. So it's massive. It's massive, isn't it? It is, yeah. And there was a moment yesterday between you and manager Mickey Mellon with the medal. Was that his medal that he gave to you, Frank? Yes. Yeah, actually, it wasn't. He stole it off sort of place. I'll get you one next week. He said, get another one. He said, and I didn't know that what he was going to do, and it was donated because Mickey didn't get one. There was only 20 medals, and we needed about 35, you know. Yeah. So he sorted it.
As you know, my dad is a lifelong fan. Watched for 70 years. Do you think yesterday was the most important game of the club's history? Would you say one of?
Well, I think so, because we won as well. You know, we went to Wembley and we won. We've been to Wembley before. Amazing. And it's not been as successful, but we won.
Right, we have to go now, Frank. The celebration is going to run into the night. What song are we leaving with?
We're going to, the owls eat the shrimps. The owls ate the shrimps. Shellfish everywhere. The owls eat the shrimps.
I only know the big...
Cal, many thanks indeed.
Celebrations are going on.
Now, I don't know how we top that, but we do finish tonight with another winner returning home today. This time, it's magician Harry Moulding from Blackpool, who only went and won this year's Britain's Got Talent on Saturday night. And here's his final act and the moment his life changed forever.
Bruno will choose the 3 of clubs. And finally, Amanda will choose the 7 of diamonds. Tell us all what that word is.
It says dream.
Dream.
Harry Moulding!
It's Crony.
Well, would you believe that the magician has disappeared? 1 minute he was here, next minute he's gone. But do you know what? If I count to 3 and close my eyes, I think he'll magically appear. 1, 2, 3. There he is.
Here we are. So
Congratulations.
Good to see you. Thank you so much.
Tell me, as Britain's Got Talent winner, what the last 48 hours has been like.
The last 48 hours have been an absolute whirlwind. Genuinely, it's just been the craziest buzz I could ever describe. I've not stopped, I've not slept. It's all just been the most overwhelming experience.
When it was down to 2, it looked like you honestly didn't think you were going to win. Did it surprise you?
Genuinely, I've watched Britain's Got Talent since the age of 7, right since Series 1, year after year. I've always dreamt of going on the show, and I've ummed and ahed for years and thought, oh, do I do it? No, I'm too... You know, finally went for it. I'd never in my wildest dreams ever imagined I'd make it to the final, let alone win. It's just been the most surreal experience ever.
The trick that you did, and we're going to look at some pictures where you jumped out the plane, how long was that in the planning?
So, believe it or not, I was in the last week of semi-finals, week 5. That was only a week ago. So, I put absolutely everything into my semi-final performance. Then the next day on the Sunday, went straight into prepping for the final. It was literally a matter of days that we were able to create what happened on
And you
Saturday
don't
night.
like heights, and then managing to talk whilst you're jumping out of a plane?
Yeah, I just thought it's a BGT final. We can't really get much bigger than that, especially on live TV, the way it all came together. You know, it's... I am terrified of heights, genuinely. I've lived here in Blackpool my whole life. I've never been on the big one like I did in my audition, ever, in 24 years, you know.
It was epic. Have you loved all the attention, or is it just mind-blowing?
I've just been overwhelmed with support, you know, everyone. I feel like everyone here, everyone around the country have been behind me. The love, support, it's just been incredible.
Last thing we're going to do as a trick. Away you go.
Yeah, well, funnily enough, let me show you this, Crony. I've actually brought with me some Britain's Got Talent notes. You can see,
yes,
I did not make these. I can't take credit.
No,
my
they're not real 20s.
William actually drew them. You can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 5 of them. Now, this is completely your choice. How many seconds?
30.
30. You want to go less for speed?
20.
20. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And imagine that is the moment right about there. In 20 seconds, those 5 hand-drawn notes actually change into 20, 40, 60, 80 British pounds.
Final
Thank
question.
you so much.
Can you make my mortgage disappear?
I'm not that good.
We're going to do a final disappearing act. After 3, 1, 2, 3.
Love it. Here's Emma with the weather.
Why do I need a shower? I've been out in the rain.
The faster you go, the sooner you'll be out. You'll save water too.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Hello there, very good evening to you. Hope you've had a super day, the second day of meteorological summer, although I don't think the weather got the memo. More on that in just a second. First of all, though, looking back at spring 2025, it was the sunniest and warmest spring on record. Let's hope that isn't it, and that wasn't our summer. So taking a look forward, what happens next? Well, high pressure was in charge today, so that was the best day of the week. But now for the rest of the week, sunny spells and rain or showers, and very windy overnight tonight into Tuesday as well. Now, the strongest of the winds and the heaviest of the rain will move through overnight tonight, so less impactful than if they move through by day. Tomorrow still will be a breezy old day, and then it's followed by blustery showers, even when the low pressure drifts away northwards on Thursday and starts to feel more showers continue coming for the rest of the week. Well, they would do. Rewinding though to the next few hours, some late sunshine for the mainland, and we will see the cloud thickening up quickly across the Isle of Man there. Not great news for the TT races into tomorrow, but as I say, at least the wettest and windiest weather moves through overnight. Should be away, it should be dry for you by tomorrow morning, but still some gales across the Isle of Man overnight tonight, and still strong winds for the mainland and gusts of 40 miles an hour for these west-facing coasts. Heavy rain along with all that, but it's the winds that really concern us the most. Into Tuesday then, the sun's up about 4:45 in the morning and sets about 9:30 in the evening. And don't forget, some spectacular sunsets around at the moment, because still we have lots of smoke particles in the air from those Canadian wildfires. So Tuesday morning, the front moves away pretty quickly, to be followed by sunny spells and blustery showers, and still some strong gusts of wind wrapped around the showers, gusts of 30-40 miles an hour still, and temperatures around average for the time of year. The winds drop out on Wednesday away from any showers, but heavier, more frequent showers expected on Thursday. Here's your pollen.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Making the most of summer. Piri sponsors ITV pollen count.
On then to the pollen report now. Sunny spells and showers then for the rest of the week. So when it's showery, it's good news for hay fever sufferers. Counts low, but rising to moderate in any sunny spells. That's it for now. Catch you later. Bye-bye.
Boundary Park in Oldham starting to fill up nicely.
Yeah, so if you're about to head over there, have a great evening, enjoy it and be safe. From all of us here, good night.
Bye-bye.